All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Toronto Huskies. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Drop deep. Check 90. And then one there. Alert 3.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
It's second and inches.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches.
80. SOS. General West.
Here's Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up second and 9 at the 37-yard line.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now Rosen. This one into the hands of the running back, Ballage. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown! A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 22.
Tight dog. Check 26. Check 15. Check 15. Check, 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 check.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
At the 21-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
We're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Second and 9 at the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
I got him.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On third down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's second and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. No. Off. Run that. Shit. Slam. Check 9. All right.
They run it with Balaj. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. It's Williams on the catch. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Switch. Switch it.
They'll run here with Balaj. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown! Kalen Balaj, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys, because
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Matt Judon. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now. Toronto in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And now it's Rosen looking. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Judon able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Rosen. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
We know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Got an open man. It's Scott. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Kill. Hug.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Balaj. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 43-yard line.
Ready. Scoot. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Do. Check.
Running for the shotgun with Drake. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 3rd down, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Buying time to his left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Jackson now, operating from the gun. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jackson now. And he's going to go down again.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So
the ball comes out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Jackson to throw again. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson, option right. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Balaj. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 36. Hey, alert, alert. Under 10, under 10, 10. 80 weapons.
On second down, it's Drake. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Coming to you, coming to you. Joker, Joker. Hey, quarter.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Josh Rosen. It's complete to Drake. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Watch the screen. Alert, alert, alert. Check 52.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Get this. Switch. Monday.
The play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen rolling to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
Hug. Hey, alert.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And he finds Parker here, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down.
Because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. It's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Steps away to his left. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is Parker, complete. Stiff-armed him. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Here's a run with Balaj. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
52's the mic. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll run again with Adams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Double tight. 4 down, 4 down.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Toronto, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.